All right, here we go. Hey, you guys. It is Monday evening. I am Dee. Good to see you guys. And we are here on the last Monday night of the month. So, some good things have been happening with our team, and it's fun to see you guys growing. A couple of you guys are super close to your next level. So, always here to be working with you so we can and help you achieve your goals. So, as I've been wanting to do, we did it last week. Would love to start this week again with Tell Me Something Good. Tell the group something good, maybe in your personal health journey or in your business this week. Beth? Yeah, go
I
ahead.
had a health assessment today. I know
Ooh,
that's not a lot for a lot of people, but for me, that was really good. Um, she's a yes, but not quite yet. But I'm going to see her again on Thursday, and she's going on a big trip. She wants to wait. I might just. I've talked with Debbie and Gina and Vicky about it. To say, hey, you're going to this wedding. What if you were down 20 pounds before you got to Italy? So anyway, so fingers crossed. She said yes, but not yet. So I'm excited.
that is awesome. Was that on the phone, in
It
person,
was in
job form?
person. Yep.
Okay, so tell us about that. How did that happen?
Well, we played pickleball together, and she'd asked me about it, and so I sent her the metabolic health assessment one because she'd mentioned to me about metabolic health, and so I sent her that one, and we just sat down and just chatted and worked out well. So
I love it. That
yeah,
is awesome. Congrats. A little rusty, but I'm sure you were
I was
probably,
I was very rusty, but it was good.
yeah, it's like riding a bike though, right? It's a conversation, identifying somebody else's needs and helping to determine if what we have is a fit. And if we can always
Yeah.
keep that in mind,
Yeah, this
we're
was the first time I actually did like the metabolic one. So it was,
yeah,
yeah, it was good. So thank you.
that is great. That is great. Frank, you're over there, 43 days without sugar. Can you smile? There you go. Make it look good, Frank.
40, yeah, so 43 days, but in total honesty, like maybe a week ago, around 37, 38, I was like over it. So okay, I'm ready to break it. I'm ready to break it. But I kept saying, telling Shauna, so I gotta break it for something significant. I don't want to break it just for a cookie or something, I want to break it for something good. But then I kept putting it on, and then even today, I mean, I've been not struggling, but I'm just like ready to break it.
Mm.
And then even today, Shauna says, "Why don't we go by such and such place and get this thing that you really love?" And I was like, "Oh, it was so tempting. It was so tempting, but I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. It's a day by day thing."
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That is powerful. Um, oh, I had a thought, and there's some good comments coming in. Yeah, and now I think what you are experiencing, right? So you have those physical cravings, right? We know it's highly addictive. Dr. A talks about the different levels of susceptibility. It sounds like you're on the higher side for it, but it's now more the mental cravings, and I think that is such a good way for you to connect to clients because, right, we get into our journey and whatever, but then your brain is trying to escape, right, and go back to what it wants. So,
Well, and Dee, one of the things, and it popped in my head the last couple days. One of the things that kind of scares me, and I've heard this from clients before, is like, I'm afraid of what's going to happen at the end of when I hit my weight loss goal. And I could never relate to that, but it kind of scares me if I have that cake, if I have that candy, if I have that ice cream, will I go completely off the rails then? I don't know, because I've never done this before. So this
mm,
is all new territory for me. And I don't know how to react once I do break the no sugar streak. So we'll see.
mm. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good, way for you to observe about yourself, your own physical reactions, et cetera. I mean, I've heard Dr. A talk about like some people who are so highly addictive really should not reintroduce it into their lives because it's like a drug,
Yeah.
or alcohol, right? So, yeah. And I love your feeling now. Like, do I have to break this? Like, I kind of want to, but do I have to? Is it worth it? That's when you're moving into the mindset of a real healthy person.
Yeah, and I've heard the same thing about alcohol. I've heard that people can't even have one drink because if they do, it's disaster. Um, so I don't know. This is all new territory. I'm learning it day by day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure you've become very aware of your habits and your thought patterns through this.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, congratulations. It's
Thank you.
awesome. Awesome. All right. Debbie has her hand up and Shauna. So, Debbie, you want to go first?
Yeah, so last Saturday, I had an event with a couple of friends that I have. They're both veterans. And so we kind of made this a veteran focused event, and it was all about like health and leveling up. And we had it at this place. It's called Restore, and I think it's like an IV thing. They do a lot of like supplementation and stuff like that, but they also had a nurse there who did the GLP-1 injections, and she was talking about like she really isn't a big fan of them in the first place, and so she really wanted to talk to me. She really wanted to get to know me, and so I had her that we're working on like finding a time that works for both of us. And then also on Friday, I met this girl. She was the cutest thing. She has got a Scottish accent, so I like was like just keep talking to me. But she also wants to get to know each other and see how I might be a fit for her business. And so I'm very, very excited because what I would love to do is to grow in the way of like meeting more people that I can work with other coaches and work in their, industries and maybe bring either coach their clients and patients or bring them on as coaches. So I'm kind of excited about that shift. So we'll see. Crossing fingers.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And just a testimony, we're going to talk about in a little bit about doing in-person events, being around people that, you're just opportunities can show up in those. So that's awesome. You'll have to keep us posted. All right, Shauna Davis.
Well, it's not really a win, but I just want to piggyback off what Frank said. Our daughter's sister-in-law, they are keeping their child off of refined sugar. So they do like date sugar and like sugar in the raw and things that are more natural and whole food type sweeteners. And I just thought that's such a good way to kind of transition in if you want to have something that you know that you're being mindful and not having the devil, the refined white sugar that's so bad,
Mm,
staying more in the natural realm. So
yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's good. Would you say date sugar? Did you say
yeah,
date?
she uses a lot of date sugar. She's very holistic in what she makes. She makes all her own bread and everything. And Rebecca was talking about a Mother's Day event that she's doing, and she said she knows that we're trying to really watch what we eat. And Frank's not doing sugar. And she said, would it be okay if Caitlin made, something with date sugar in it? It's not the refined, highly processed sugar. So I don't think it affects you maybe the same way. I don't know. I haven't researched it, but thought it was interesting.
That'll be good. That'll be good. And Frank, I know you're wearing the glucose monitor, so it'll be interesting to see, yeah, to see how that shows up, if or when you decide to incorporate that. And Beth, look at those. Look at you people going next level. I love it. I love it. Good job. Well, Ellen, we are rooting for you. I saw your numbers. You are this close. We are going to make that happen. There's a couple scenarios. So, yeah, so you need to definitely be partnering up with Kelly and Frank and Shauna, and that dang phone better work. So we will make that happen because you are way too close. Well, good. And I wanted to give a shout out and have Diane Nix share. We have several coaches on our team that have two new clients this month. Diane is so great in terms of she shows up every week for her mentoring, and she's had seasons where she's been talking to people and nothing happens. But I really don't know anybody on our team that does as many or invites as many people to health assessments than Diane does. So, and it's all about conversations. So, Diane, I would love if you just could share a little bit about what you've been doing over there.
Well, thank you, Dee. And I have to say, just to context it, follow up is critical. And that's nothing new that we haven't heard before, but it really is. But what I normally do at any networking event when I'm with around new people, anybody who's new, I try to make sure I reach out to them and just see how I can help them. So I get on a LinkedIn connection with them and then send them my Calendly link and just say, how can I help you? Can we just talk? And I make sure that I'm asking about them and just really just trying to be human and have a conversation with them, getting to know them as humans, as people. And as they learn about me, I talk about what I do. And then I always ask the question, well, what would you like, or what kind of, are there any improvements you're working on now in your health? And just ask some questions, keep digging, just trying to find out more. And ultimately, I end up always asking, well, would you be open to having a free health coaching session where you could learn some valuable tips that I could share that are unique to you specifically? And most of the time they'll say, oh, well, yeah, I could do that, and so I set it up. But what I haven't been doing in the past is I would have these health assessments all over the place and they get lost in a pile somewhere. And so I just said, okay, everyone I do, I'm going to write it down, the date, the name, just basically, and keep a log of those. And so now I'm actually, I got my 2-page list and I'm checking the names and when was the last one, who do I need to follow up with again? And, so I'm just trying to get a better system.
Well, it's working. It's working. And hopefully you guys were listening, took some notes on that. What I really love that you do, and it's so inviting is, hey, would you be open to a free or a complimentary health coaching session? So instead of asking, would you be open to a health assessment, right? Which sounds like maybe you're going to try to then, sell the program for lack of a better word, that you say a free session where I could give some tips unique to you. So I'm sure in that you share about the program, but I'm sure you give them ideas, either way. So.
Yeah.
There's a question in the comments from Lori. She says, do you have them complete a health assessment prior to the session? So I guess that would be the JOT form.
I've asked them before. Some do, some don't. Probably the majority of them won't or don't do it. I mean, I'll send them a link and say, hey, this would really help expedite our conversation or whatever, if you'd be willing to do this. And it'll also give you ideas about the areas that I'll be talking to you about. And so a few people will, but not all the time. But I ask them.
Yeah. But most of them are showing up, right? Either way, whether or not they've
Mhm.
done it in advance. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, a special shout out again to Frank, to Stephanie, to Ellen, who shared their stories on last week's metabolic reset call that we did. We did that last Tuesday night, and we had 52 people on that call live. So thank you guys for who you were there, who you invited. We have had 56 replays of that call, which is a great sign. And so we have had an increase in new clients. We've also had an increase in reactivated clients since that call. What's hard to decipher is exactly where did they come from, but hopefully the awareness, the promotion, and let us know if that's something. I mean, I'm really personally feeling that's probably something we should be offering on a more frequent basis, maybe every 4 to 6 weeks, so that you guys have something to invite to on a regular basis. And then our 28-day reset group, we had 43 people start that group. A good number of them turned in their second week results, and they've been engaging in the daily post, been trying to mix that up. So if you haven't been hanging out in Eat, Live, and Be Healthy, it would be a great idea, especially if you have some participants in the challenge, in the experience, so that they can see you in there commenting, even if it's just an atta girl or an atta boy for somebody. But the average weight loss of fat loss has been 4.5 pounds. I did a post today about it, but we had 25% of the group was experiencing better energy, 25% was increasing more optimism, better sleep, and better visceral fat scores, and then really good feedback from their own personal comments. So very, very good. Okay. Oops, I just lost you guys for a second. All right. If you missed it, last week on Dan Bell's call, he did a kind of a reinforcement of what is working these days. And last week we talked quite a bit about the importance of staying in touch with our current clients, our inactive clients, because they are a very warm market for us, for them to potentially reactivate and also for referrals. But of course, your business is going to grow the most, and my business will grow the most with new clients and new coaches. And what we're finding, and I know all of you guys are experiencing it, is that social media is a great tool, but it is one of the tools right now. It just really can't not be our only source. So in-person connections, whether that be an event or as simple as what Beth did, having coffee with people, getting together in person with people. What I would really challenge you to do is think of ways that you can connect more in person with individuals. Everybody is wired differently in terms of what will feel good to them. Some people are natural hosts and they would like to, they're great opening their home, having an event. Others are better one-on-one. But if you think about business and sales, I always say, right, how many business transactions take place on the golf course, right? When you're out with people doing stuff, having conversations. So I would encourage you over the next 30 to 60 days to be looking for ways that you can connect with people. Schedule a walk with a friend, and make it a point to bring this up. Schedule with several people, offer a walking group in your neighborhood, anything. But it is really the time for creativity, and seeing what will work for you to be able to connect with more people. So any questions around that? Let's see. Ellen just said, interested to know how to do a health fair booth. What do you set up and your table? There are guidelines. In fact, I can give you all of you guys, like how to host an event, a document that was recently completed by Amy and Mike Mills. So really good about that. To have a health fair booth or whatever, generally it's generally suggested to be executive director or higher. And Ellen, you have reached that rank of executive director. So I can send you a copy of a table and a banner that I've had created with metabolic health. And you could have one created, print one up for you. But we can help you out with that. I know who are some of the people on the group that have had tables at things. So Beth, Frank, Shauna, Debbie, I know you have, I have, so we can help you with how to set that up. So if you want to start lining up your events, we can help you with what to do. I mean, maybe if you and Temperance are in the same town, right? So maybe always good to have more than one person. So maybe that's something you guys can join forces on. All right. Very good. All right. So another topic that was covered in the in last week's ED Synergy call was the Optavia referral program. And this is something as a group, I know I personally probably have not been informing my existing clients enough on, guiding them on how to do it, and really taking advantage of it. But this topic was discussed, and I personally was blown away by some of the statistics. So if you're not aware, Optavia will offer, if one of our current clients, so one of your current clients refers somebody else to your coach, right? And there's a process for this. If they sign up and have a minimum order of $350, they will get, your referring client will get a $50 wellness credit placed on their account to be used off their next order. And there is no limit to those. But here's what was really, really interesting with it is they started this program back in December. So as with anything, there's going to be a learning curve, right? As we're all becoming more familiar with it and starting to share more about it. But the company is tracking it and tracking and data. And what we've learned is that for all of new clients coming into Optavia, for the month of December, 5% of new clients coming in were from the referral program. So this is somebody who got a link, it was clicked, and the account established and the order placed. In January, that number increased to 10% of our new client referrals. I mean, our new clients in the company came from referrals. And in February, it was 18%. So creeping up to almost 20%. So that will continue to grow as long as we can, start to or continue to share. And on the call on that Thursday call, and I will share the recording link when I post this video. But there was really great, some additional statistics shared and an approach that you could potentially do to help you with it. So let me share you this. All right. So, all right. Shauna, can you see my screen? Yep, little blurry, I know. So, the referral process. So, here's why it's working. It's a game changer. So, they're saying 2.5 times more clients. So, coaches who are utilizing the referral program have 2.5 more new clients per month than the average coach does right now. 77% of people that click the link place a full order. 77%. So that is very significant. But here's what's really interesting is 8% higher reordering. So referred clients reorder 8% better than regular clients. And I truly believe it's like they realize what they're getting into. They've got somebody in their world that's also doing the program and referred them. So naturally they're more likely to stick with it. So I don't know about you, but I would love to have more clients and referred clients, and I would love to have clients that reorder on a higher level. So if you're not utilizing it, I would highly encourage it. They did say that 6 of the top 10 clients, the coaches who are using client referral program, and they track that by the referrals and who's the coach that the referral goes to. 6 of the top 10 coaches using the process have run to executive director in less than 3 months. So there are a lot of different ways that you could be introducing this to your current client base. But what was really interesting was the girl on the video from the ED Synergy call. She shared, well, one, I want to make sure here on this screen, the way a client gets their referral link is from the Optavia app. So the actual app is where they go. And if they go down here at the bottom where it says account down here, when they click that, there's the refer friends and earn. So that's where it comes from. So you have a couple options with this, right? Like if you had somebody, they could click it and send to the person. And, but we also want to be informing our clients and asking them to do like 3-way text introductions for us, because we know that if we can have that conversation with them, they're more likely to place the more accurate order that's for their needs, and we can help them along in that process. So they had like the top coach on who has the most referrals. And basically what she has done as she is bringing on new clients, and to her current client base, and I will share this with you and you can also screenshot, but she basically said like, hey, she texted them and she says, hey, can you help me out? We have something new. There's a referral link. It's new for everybody. Can you do me a favor and go here and find your referral link and send it to me? And there's a little video that she sends that tells them how to find it. When they send it to her, she actually, in her notes section of her phone, actually has each client's name, and then she keeps the link as well. And then she sends a follow-up text, and there's a couple of different options like, you did it. You got the link to work. Was that easy to understand? Thank you. And then I like the second one, this is so cool. Did you know you can earn $50 on your account, an unlimited amount for referring friends, family, and coworkers to me? Just connect through a 3-way text and introduce us, and I'll take it from there. And basically what she's doing in that scenario is she has the referral links for her clients. So when she gets that 3-way text, she actually takes the lead and still says, hey, I'll set up your account for you. She posts the link And then she's able to establish the account. So, questions around that, because I thought it was pretty brilliant. And, you know, for me, I am going to be texting all my clients to let them, you know, I love that. Hey, can you go look for this option? Because it actually is going to bring it into their brain and their awareness. Any questions?
I love that. Will you share? You'll share all that with us, right?
Yes, yeah. This that I just posted, whether it was a screen, whatever, that's a Google Doc. And that is there. And you can also watch the ED Synergy call, but that came from a Google Doc. She did a video like on her phone, like you know how you can screen record of her finding it. And that's what she sent. You could send hers or you could do your own, either one with it. Okay, fantastic. And then just the last thing, I will also share this. I was introduced to an incredible woman. I might have mentioned her before, but a mutual friend of ours connected us. But this woman built a $7 million, I'm sorry, a $1 million dollar per year business in Beachbody. She was a John Maxwell consultant for many, many years. And now she is a consultant helping 6 and 7 figure earners scale their businesses and earn even more. So this woman is a wealth of information. Her name is Rachel Bodie, and she has a weekly podcast. And she had a podcast that I listened to on one of my walks. I always just multitask, trying to keep up with personal growth, new thinking. And it was about, I had never heard it phrased this way. It was income blocking thoughts and income producing thoughts. And we always talk about IPAs, income producing actions, but she was like, hey, before you can get to the action, it's going to be the energy and the thoughts you have behind it that is going to determine the impact. So just drop in the chat or come off mute and tell me, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but what would be an income blocking thought that one of us might have on this call that might affect your mood, your doing what you know you need to do to grow your business? What would be an income blocking thought? No one wants to talk to me. Poor Beth. Poor Beth. Okay, no one's interested. I could never do this. Okay. Okay. What else? What else is an income blocking thought? We've all got them. No one is commenting on my post. So we attach a story to that, correct? We have a story. What else? I don't know enough. Yeah, what else? Oh, interesting. The successful people are special and I am not. What will others say about me? So fear of judgment. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. I don't want to bother them. They know what I do. They'll come to me if they need it, right? Everybody's on the GLP-1 shots, right? Like what stories are we saying, right? So she challenged, and I want you to screenshot this. She challenged what she to about what she called income producing thoughts. And she really challenged to just pick one and focus on it for the coming week. So I've got these up and we can kind of talk for just a minute through them. But it's kind of the lead from the future, act in the now leadership principles, right? Like we're acting like the person and the rank and the level and the business owner that we want to be. So I thought these were really helpful. So the first one is I feel the resistance or I feel the fear and I do it anyway. So before you sit down, because we are going to have resistance, our brain is wired for survival, right? Like what Frank said, we don't want judgment. We don't want rejection. We just want to, keep it status quo. So we've got to be thinking over that brain to bring ourselves into the front of our brain where we'll actually have action. So I love that one where we will tell ourselves when we sit down to work, I will feel the resistance or I will feel the fear and I will do it anyway. Second one is great. It is the more I am me, the more I attract my people. So this is the reinforcement of authenticity. And in a different podcast, she actually used the words trust recession, that we are in a trust recession right now, that we are so flooded with social media and media selling and influencers and all of that, that there is just a lack of trust out there. So the more that you can be you, and she said, that looks like holding that camera up in Instagram stories and sharing, letting people see, not worrying about perfectionism, but letting them see you. And then that will attract the kind of people that you want. This one I thought was brilliant. My 5 are in my network watching me. Now I put 5 in quotes because that could be anything. You could be 3. And that what that translates to could mean anything. My 5 next new clients, my 5 next health coaches, my 5 next business builders. If we assumed that they were in our network watching us, right? So Shauna, many people lurk and watch before they interact and engage. So if we knew that, how would we show up? What content would we be putting out? What would we be saying if we knew that they were watching us? Number 4, this is what got me through my divorce. I trust my ability to figure it out. I also used this when I was integrated national director and I was kind of stuck and I was like, all right, I've got to have new coaches. What I want is more new coaches on my team. I am going to need to figure this out. I need, and so if you just let yourself be that one, I trust my ability to figure it out. Number 5, wherever you're coming from, the universe, God, whatever. But if you said, hey, God is directing my steps. God is with me right now. How would that affect how you showed up and actions that you take? And this last one I think is really genius. I am creating the team and environment everyone wants to be a part of. And when we can say that, right, I'm creating the environment that every client wants to be a part of. You're no longer chasing, you're actually creating the safety, the feeling, the environment that others want to be a part of, and that is attraction marketing. So I would just encourage you, does anybody know right now which one of these they will pick for their thought retraining this week? Want to pop it in the comments? I've got them up there. All right, let's see. What do we got? Number 2. Yep, I love that. I love that. Okay, the more I am me, couple people. My 5 are already watching me. I love that, Frank. Yep. The more I am me, the more I attract people. Yeah. Beautiful. It's true. I cannot tell you enough. We think we have to be perfect. We think we have to be polished, but people want you. I am creating the team and the environment. Yeah. Powerful, powerful. And mine is really right now that I feel the resistance or the fear and do it anyway. So I would encourage you, write that down, write it on an index card, have it visible, and say it every morning, multiple times throughout the day. I would have it, I'm a big one for index cards, like have it on your desk and let it reprogram. Stephanie, you got anything to offer on that? Because you know the power of neuroplasticity and reframing. I would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think I mean, all of them, if you think about it, just all intertwined together, and it really is. And I think, and it's something that, when we're our authentic self, and those kind of posts, if we're doing on social media or having a conversation, when we just speak from our heart and our authentic self, then that does attract people, and then the type of people that you would want to be on your team as well. And so yeah, number 2 really spoke to me also. And it's, just changing, rewording how you phrase things, all of the ones that were inhibiting us, like no one's watching, to, my next 5 are watching, and so just flipping the negative into a positive.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. All right. Well, you guys are doing great. We're going to close out this month strong. Keep doing what you're doing. Show up as your authentic selves. And just remember, we're not just building businesses, like we are building people. We are creating change and the environment for change for other people. So super proud to be a part of this with you. And I will see you over on the community call. And if you make it to Dan Bell's call, I'll see you there. All right. Night, you guys.